Hello, this is Debbie, and this is Light Up Your Worth. Boy, do I have a treat for you. I am bringing on my friend Vienna Durham, and she is a rib whisperer. Yes, you heard that right, a rib whisperer. I know you're going to learn so much on this episode, so I can't wait to jump in with you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Debbie. So good to be with you today.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's like, what in the world? A rib whisperer? What's that?
Exactly. That's why we pick those funny names, right?
Right? So for
Truly,
all the
truly.
curious people who are listening, they're like, well, tell us.
Okay, we'll go there first. Yes, exactly. So turns out that I got to do massage therapy training a few years ago, and I'd been working on friends and family for 15, 20 years before that. And I saw this pattern that everybody with pain from the neck, between the neck and low back, it's so thoracic pain, right?
Mhm.
Every thoracic vertebra has a rib attached. Who knew? I mean, did you know your first rib is like here under your collarbone and at the base of your neck? And when it's raised out of place, you can feel it as a knot in here.
No. Who knew?
Oh,
Right?
that's the point. so so I got to take, even before I did the massage therapy training, I took a course in orthobionomy. So I'm not a certified orthobionomist, and it resonated so deeply with me. I went, this changes everything, because it's about going toward comfort instead of pain. I don't subscribe to no pain, no gain.
Mhm.
Those people can have that. Don't give me a deep tissue massage. Not interested, because it puts me in fight or flight.
Oh,
I couldn't be made interested. And when I've learned the techniques that when you go toward comfort, it brings blood flow into the area. So it's so gentle. That's why I'm a rib whisperer. And you can go and have
oh.
somebody ram it back in place, and the muscles are so doggone tight. They just go, excuse me, don't you live in the backyard? Right? And they
Yeah.
wrench it right back out by the time you get to the car, and you wonder, how's this working? So that's why I'm a rib whisperer, because I always go toward comfort and freedom of movement. And that is what my specialty became in massage therapy.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Um, I know when we were talking about, how did you come to who you are today, right? And how we were connected. And I know you're an author of a book, and you do some different modalities that we haven't had on yet, which is emotional code. And I know we're going to jump into that, but I really wanted to hear how your journey on overcoming. I would love for everybody to hear that.
Oh, I'm so glad to share it, because one of the things that, whether it's with ribs or trapped emotions or just that journey out of people pleasing, the thing that all has in common is I get to share that there's hope. And I was so many years just feeling so stuck and going, really, is this all there is to life? I love my children. I'm so glad I'm a mom, and they're all grown now. And still, though, there was that empty inside from late teens where I was like, what was I born for? Where's my niche?
Yeah.
And I wasn't finding it. It wasn't in the having children. That wasn't my message. That was a beautiful part of my journey that I treasure every day. And it helped bring me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
And finding the niche has made all the difference.
And I think so many women can relate to that, that they've loved that season of their life and it was so beautiful. They're so grateful for it, but yet there's still something there.
There's a deep itch. It's like, oh, how do I
Yeah.
scratch
Yeah. So
that?
do you find yourself like, oh, I'm going to try a little bit of this, I'm going to try a little bit of that. We explore.
Yes, I did that for quite a few years, like from the time my last was nearly grown, and I started like diving in and sampling here, and like big buffet, sample, sample, sample,
Yeah.
sample. And I found things that really tasted good to me. And I ordered a full meal of that and enjoyed that. And even I would say until actually a week or two ago, I was still signing up for every free online thing that came through my inbox and just getting completely overwhelmed. I swat away the gnats. Oh my goodness, what's going on? And I just really, in the last week, have settled into, I've found the water trough I'm drinking from right now,
Mhm.
the group that I'm really, really resonating with in a couple of different arenas. And I was actually able just to delete some emails that were offering free things and just went, hmm. And the other thing I want to be sure I get a chance to share, even if not in detail on this segment anyway, is muscle testing. And
Ooh.
so, in a nutshell, it's every muscle in your body is strong and on, locked when you're in the presence of truth. And when we're in the presence of a lie, whether it's us not saying a truth or someone else, the whole body just goes weak, like the dial just gets turned down. And so, here's a little sample. Um, my name is Vienna. And so that's locked. I just barely have my fingers together enough. So you can look up how to muscle test.
Mhm.
So you can, and
Yeah, I
so
am
make,
Debbie.
make
So
the
we're
okay
doing a
sign.
visual for the
Uh-huh,
audio people.
exactly, right. They can go look up learn muscle testing on YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm making an okay sign with my hand and using my thumb from my other hand to go into the okay sign. And my name is Vienna, and I'm bumping against the two fingers together. And it's strong, it's locked because that's my name. And
Mhm.
now if I say my name is George, not a family member's name, not anybody I know, it doesn't hold. And I mean, I'm not trying to hold it. I'm just like, my name is George, and away it goes. So now let's see you try that, Debbie.
Yeah, let's see. Like, I am Debbie. Yeah, strong. My name is Brandy. No. Oh, see, it just kind of like just goes through. That's
Yep, because your body just went, no, so your subconscious mind, well, let's say your frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex, your front brain knows what it's been taught, period. That's all. What it's been trained in, programmed in, whatever. That's what it knows. The rest of your brain and your body knows the rest of the story. They know the absolute truth. So when you find a way to tap into your subconscious mind, there you've got answers. All of my plants are thriving because I check in before I water them. So I'm not overwatering them anymore. Go, hey, would you like some water today? Yes. How much? More than 5 ounces? Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here it comes. And I measure it out and dump it in. And they're so happy.
oh, what a great practical way to use muscle testing.
Right. So
Yeah, it's a
anyway,
really great
tools.
tool, right? Like to
Yeah.
see what resonates. How you said you're, try a lot of different things. And one of the drivers, I guess, or what was uh the idea when I started the podcast was that I wanted everybody to have accessibility to, the spiritual
Beautiful.
healers and coaches and to be able to go, oh, I think I want to go try this. I want to go try that and just see what resonates, right? And really,
Yes.
bring light to all of these amazing people because you don't know what to go Google, you don't know what to go YouTube if you don't
Yep.
know it even exists.
You don't know what you don't know.
And so that's,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I love that you have found, I don't want to say stumbled upon, but you really are finding something that really just lights you up. I know when we were
Yep.
talking before, like you just like your whole physical presence really just starts to like shine this bright light. You like your vibration increases, like you can tell you are really connected all the way up,
Mm,
all the way
mm.
down into your heart. Like it just shows. And
So
so,
I love your description of that. And that really just touches my heart because that's been my desire for a couple of years and to see that I'm finally getting there. So just that the way I brought that in was I look at an email and go, is this right for me at this time? Nope. Delete.
Yeah.
Is this something I should sign up for right now? Nope. Sometime soon? Yes. Put it in a folder. Look at next year or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just the
So that you
freedom.
keep track. Yeah. It is a freedom because I think we, as spiritual minded, empowered women, you want to go and experience so much goodness, but sometimes it can
Yes.
be, which one do I do now? Which one do I want to do a deeper dive on? But sometimes we just want to experience it. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to have you share. I know that that you are a practitioner of emotional codes, and I'm really curious to have you explain to us, to me, and everybody listening, like what
Mhm.
exactly is emotional codes?
Yes, I'd be glad to do that. Do you mind if I tell how I came to find it
Oh, yes,
first?
please,
Can I do that
please.
little
Yes,
background piece?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Love that.
So my point of need was I was a people pleasing puppet, and I have to say I was addicted to people pleasing. So
Ah,
that's where I was. I didn't even know what a boundary was. One of my siblings said to me, "You should read the boundaries book," and I went, "What's that?"
yeah, by uh,
Cloud and Townsend.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
Cloud. Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
he is the boundary expert, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And so anyway, that was where I was. I thought people who talked about self-care were selfish. So
Ah,
I was
mhm,
not on board with self-care at all. So that was a problem, right? We see
mhm.
now I'm early 60s.
Yeah.
Now I'm with, would have been nice to have caught on to that a little sooner. And I'm glad I found it now. So no regrets. It brought me to where I am. And I thought that what I did determined my worth. So I was a human doing. And in the last couple of years, I found out I'm a human being. I am a spiritual being having a physical experience. And that has made all the difference, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Say
a
that
whole
again.
different journey.
Say that again.
I'll
You
say it.
are.
I'll say it a little slower. I
Okay.
used to think I was a human doing. That's all I knew. That was my definition of human being, was a person who does things
Mhm.
for others. And then someone said to me, in actuality, you are a spiritual being who's having a brief human experience in the context of eternity. This is pretty short, right? So now I see that I'm a spiritual being having a temporary human experience, and that has given me permission to be a human being. Now I'm more about being than doing. And so out of that heart of being, that informs my doing. That's been
I That is so powerful. I know I say I love this a lot, everybody, but I it's just such a powerful place to come from and to experience and
yes.
explore where you're going.
Yeah. So what was pivotal for me was when I figured out, and this is like, you can hear it from all kinds of different sources. Uh, Scripture says it, that there's worth because we exist. And so I now know that my worth is determined by the fact that I'm alive right here, right now. And that determines my worth. So I'm going to give an example. Let's say got a gold coin, and I'm going to bury it underground for a little while, and I dig it up and check out, and it's tarnished. Am I going to now throw that thing away because it's not sparkly anymore? What if
Mm.
what if my dog even pooped all over it in the backyard? Oh, ooh, no, thanks. No, that does not change the value. So to those who are interested in the value of your gold, they will help you move the poop and polish your gold, and then shine light so that you can shine and reflect. So if you don't like getting pooped on,
People
Right?
pleaser.
People pleaser, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're surrounded right now by people who show their priorities by putting their waste products on your ideas,
Mhm.
I I'm going to give permission today. A few times I've had people take a position of authority, not in an overlordish sort of way, but to speak permission. And I'd like to do that for our watchers and listeners today. I'm going to give you permission to give yourself an honorable discharge from the branch of other people's disservice who try to put on you their expectations, their beliefs, their poop, and then go and find and sign up with the people who see your value and can help you clean up, polish, and reflect the light.
Oh,
So permission granted. If you needed somebody to give it to you, let me be the one.
right. And I think there's somebody who needed to hear that, who needed to hear that they have worth, even if they're tarnished or not as sparkly right now, or, this last year, here we are, the second year in a row where there's been a
Yes.
lot of stuff, right? Really being thrown at people, or they've looked at
Mhm.
stuff and they're like, I've already resolved this in my life. Why is it coming back? Right
Yes.
now, maybe they had discovered their own worth, and then they get kind of thrown into some of the events or the expectations of other people and
Exactly. Comparison.
comparison. Oh, right.
That's a
I
tough
mean,
one.
I think that's one of my lifelong things, is getting better and better at it, right?
Oh,
Comparatively too, right? But oh
right.
man, it really can stop your joy in its track.
Exactly. Exactly. So my journey to this, to your next question of what emotion code is, I always thought I was second fiddle or third or fourth, somewhere down the road, and with no message of my own. And my my level of joy at the time was, isn't it wonderful to be involved with such powerful people, and I get to help support them. And that's what I thought was going to be my message for the rest of my life, was that I would be the support person. And I love support people. There's nothing wrong with that. If during a season, or during, if that's your whole life and that's what you're called to, do it with your whole heart. you know
Hmm.
Str- Street sweepers, do it with your whole heart. There's no lofty versus lowly in job descriptions. So I'm not at all saying that. I had not found my joy. I had not found my calling. So that's the problem with the second, third, fourth fiddle.
Hmm.
you know. So I'm not commenting on I'm at some higher place right now at all. So by grace, I got to go to massage school and I got good feedback. So this was the first time I'm seeing that there might be a value that I have in a room with a person where I'm the only one offering something. And I went, really? You like that? And then I began to believe that I had a message. And so that's where the book came from. It's called Stop the Pain. You'll see a link in the show notes. And it's a free download, stopthepainbook.com. So it's like, get the message out there far and wide that there's a way. It's your hands-on manual for neck and back relief. So there's a way to have comfort and get back to sleeping without pain. Muscle tension is resolvable. So read the book. It's not a movie yet.
Yeah. Before the movie comes out.
Don't wait for the movie. That may or may not happen. So I hit that gap head on, where it's like who I thought I was and who I was becoming. And it threw me into all kinds of emotional turmoil. And I started kind of going, oh yeah, this is tough going when it's there's somebody pooping on your parade. you know.
Hmm.
So my first midwife with my first child's birth, Marla, the midwife in Manitoba, she put on Facebook, I just finished my emotion code training. And I'm going, what's that? She said, I need volunteers. I was like, oh, pick me. I'm on an emotional roller coaster, right?
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, her gift to me was so profound. She ended up doing 8 sessions with me. And in 2 months, I went from this completely feeling flat, like no air in my beach ball, and in fact, held underwater. I was just in this tough, tough place. And it started putting the procedures she used, simple, simple stuff of releasing trapped emotions. And the whole book writing process and all of that began to put air in my beach ball. And there came a point in time where it couldn't be held underwater anymore. Now it was full of air and so buoyant. And it popped up out of the water when I released a couple of tethers that were holding it underwater, emotions.
Mhm.
In one day, it popped up out of the water, and then I was flying high. So I got trained in emotion code myself. So here's what it is. Dr. Bradley Nelson, a chiropractor, man of faith, just to demonstrate, before he'd walk in to see a client, he'd stop and breathe a prayer for help. And then he'd walk in. And when it started to dawn on him, some of my clients get better right away. So clearly I'm skilled. And some of my clients come back every week with the same problem. God, what is up with that? Could you please show me? And it was shown to him. Those people have trapped emotions. And he says that trapped emotion is a ball of energy the size between an orange and a cantaloupe. And if you get enough of them stuffed down inside, they start pushing on structures.
Mhm.
And things can be away from home, and it's got no way to find its way back home because it comes and meets with this energy of this. Yeah. I'm getting away from using the word negative, because if it brings us the message that brings us to freedom, was it really negative? But it's a lower vibrating emotion.
Yeah, I like the lower vibrating emotions because they've proven
Yeah.
it too, right? With
Yes.
lots of science,
Lots of science.
the shame, the guilt,
Yes.
low,
Shame's the lowest.
lowest vibrating energy, and that gets stuck,
Exactly.
gets trapped. And
Yep. So I started helping others and working on myself to raise their vibe. And it has been such a freedom process, and it brings me so much joy. And I can fire hose. I'm sorry. I'm not going to explain much about this, but I want to introduce the idea of human design. So I'm not going to talk any more about it other than to say, because people can look it up. It's out there on
Mhm.
YouTube as well,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty powerful.
But listen to this. This is my description. And this was so confirming to me when I found out. Free, jovianarchive.com, free way to find out what your human design is. I am designed to figure out how to provoke people to release tension and then guide them to restoring the flow of energy in their lives. What?
Mic drop. Woo.
I was like, I really have found it. That thing I was crying for at 17. This was the confirmation to me. This was not prescriptive. This didn't make me change my direction. It made me go, yes, I'm in the right place and it's the right time.
Oh, I got full on body chills when you said that.
Yep.
Full
So
on.
this is me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like at the front of the Titanic, right? Where she's out there
Exactly.
and Leonardo is
Exactly.
holding her. Like, this is me, right? And isn't that song in The Greatest Showman song,
Yes.
right? Like,
I
this
love
is
that one.
me. Yeah. Like,
and people pleasing, not so much. I get to honor the Lord. I get to stay true to myself.
mhm.
I still am finding myself. People ask me, what do you like? I'm going, I'll let you know as soon as I figure that out. And yet I've been listening to Esther Hicks with
Mhm.
Abraham, right? And it has brought me so much clarity, so much joy. There were so many things that I now just feel the truth in, that I'd have gone, ooh, I don't know. And now it resonates so deeply for me. And she's saying, that moment when you feel like something catches your breath, she said,
Yeah.
hang on to that, feel that, and get in touch with that, and then watch for more of that, and revisit that several times a day. And like, then you'll start to have more of that. Because when I'm thinking, oh, I don't know me, I don't know my vibration, I don't know what I like, guess what? I get more of that.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Because we're sending out that magnetic field, right? There's those
Exactly.
two types of energies, like the universe doesn't know the difference between the negative or the positive. It just feels whatever you're sending out, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I've realized too, as you were using your word selections, right, of not using the words negative, because I think sometimes we think too that, oh, if I'm just all positive, right, this Pollyanna, but we're still burying stuff when we do that. That's not being authentic either.
Mm-mm,
You're
mm-mm.
allowed to feel both spectrums of the emotions, and
Exactly.
you just don't want to stay stuck in those lower vibrating
Exactly.
emotions. And so the emotional code really just helps release some of those big cantaloupes that somebody could have stuck there next
Yeah.
to.
So I have an offer. Would you be up for a little demonstration? Do you want to see if you have a cantaloupe hanging
Oh
out
yeah,
somewhere?
I'm sure I got some cantaloupes. I mean,
Everybody
as much
does.
work, right? Like here I am 20 years in, but the last couple of years have really, like everybody else, been super challenging. And I'm just feel so fortunate that I have surrounded my community of people who do believe in what I do. And so
Yes.
that I'm able to reach out, and or they are reaching out to me. They're all like, you seem a little off. Are you okay? Been a more quiet. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of in
Oh,
that that gap of when you've set a new
yes.
vision, right? I've set a new vision for the podcast, for the everything that's happening in my life.
Mhm.
And so as you step into that, it just gives me another opportunity to explore and investigate and unwind even more of the cantaloupes so that they can come
Yes.
through. Really,
Yes.
right? Like it's
Exactly.
really is a complete unwinding
Yeah.
of
And
this process. So I would love
yeah.
to do it. So
All right. And
yeah.
that space that you clear, but by releasing the lower vibrating things, is now available to the higher vibrating, right? You got more real estate
Da-da-da. Yeah.
to
Calling
build a
in
beach
more
house.
bliss. Yeah. Calling in more
Exactly.
joy. Let's bring in some beach, beach
Exactly.
balls.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm going to show on my phone. This is what the emotion code app looks like. So free download. Your wherever you download apps from. Emotion code. The first two chapters of Dr. Nelson's book are in the app, so you can get started. I had a friend who totally taught herself how to do this using the book. This is not rocket science. If you need help, there's YouTube videos, and if somebody wants kind of like that initial appointment with me, they're welcome to do that. And I'm I just love empowering people, even with muscle tension. You've got
Mhm.
the power in your own hands to release tension. Same with emotions. You got the power in your own hands to do it. So I figure I can only reach what hundreds, maybe thousands of people in my life if I don't pass this baton, you know.
Right.
So
I think
that's what I
you
love.
hit on an important thing there also that I wanted to highlight is that we go to in highlighting and bringing through healers and coaches. It's really to give us the tools, but really the accountability of healing the or releasing the pain or working through different life experiences is really on us.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not like there's no
Nobody else
miracle,
is gonna come save us, so to speak.
right?
Opportunities are provided,
Hmm.
and if we don't pick them up, they're gonna lay there. We'll walk right over them
Yeah, yeah. Being able to take a
until we
look at
don't.
something that's maybe different than what we're used to, and just having those open minds of conversations. Last week's episode when she talked about, what was the worst that was going to happen to me, right?
That was so good. I liked that.
Would you want
Exactly.
to, and it was just such a powerful thing, right? Giving the tools to people to be able to make their own decisions, see what
Yes.
resonates. And so, yes. So let's see if there
Beautiful.
is any.
All right.
I will be that. I'm not an experiment. I know stuff works. So
Exactly. I love it. So what I'm going to have you do, and whether you share it or not is up to you. So you've given me permission. I'm just tuning into your radio station for
Mhm.
this moment. And then I go back to my channel,
Yep.
so
Yeah, I give permission. I'm actually going to say it out loud
Perfect.
because I
I love
believe in
it.
that
That's
vibration,
important. I like it.
Mhm.
Thank you. And then you can either think of a situation. I know you've moved recently. Maybe it was something with the move or post move or whatever, but something that it's like, oh, it just makes me feel a little off kilter. So you're welcome to say it out loud, but you can also just think it, and then I'll
Okay.
check and see if you've got a trapped emotion about it.
Yes, I have something in mind. Mhm.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. And does she have a trapped emotion behind that idea in her mind? Yes. I'll show you the actual thing, that I'm testing. Is it in column A? Yes. B, I'm confirming. It wasn't in
Oh.
B, it's in A. Okay, so this is how the muscle testing works. We're now that 60 emotions in the chart, now it's only 30. We're clipping through them pretty fast.
Oh.
Is it an odd row? Nope, even row. Now it's only 15. A2, A4, A6. Now we're down to 5. So it's when you download the app and look, it's column A, row 6, first word, second word, third word, fourth word, fifth word. You're gonna laugh. It's overwhelm. No kidding, huh? And that's from
Wow.
your other than conscious mind. You told my muscle testingness,
Yeah.
this is, please release this one first. Okay, we hear you. And here's the definition, because it's often a little broader than what I would associate. To be overpowered in mind or emotion, extreme stress, feeling overpowered with superior force, feeling excessively burdened. So that's what your other than conscious mind told me it wanted to release. And do we need to know more about this? Yes. Do we need to know first occurrence in your life? Yeah, of this flavor of overwhelm. Baskin Robbins has got nothing up on emotions. More than 31
More than
flavors.
31.
So we do need to know first occurrence. Is it before age 10? Yeah, before 5. No, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 years old, you experience this flavor of what you're thinking about right now. Do we need to know where it is in the body? Yeah. In the heart? No. In the mind? Yeah. In brain? Yeah. So it got trapped up in here. And do we need to see, is it yours alone? Yeah, not inherited. When we're conceived, we can inherit epigenetically. It's not part of the DNA necessarily, but they can, parents can pass emotions to their children at the point of conception. So this is not that. You came up with this on your own at age 9, this overwhelm. Do we need to know how big it is? Yes. So we're going to measure in inches, feet, miles. This is, don't pull out your GPS. It's not about that. It's about significance. How big is this to me? Well, it's more than inches and more than feet. It's up in the miles. More than 5. Yeah, more than 10. Oh, 10, 9, 8. 8 miles worth of overwhelm. Wow. And do we need to know more? Nope. Can we release it now with 3 sweeps? Yes. So the sweeps, we're going to use your magnetic fingertips. So a magnet will release it from your governing meridian, which touches all the other meridians. So it doesn't matter which one. Okay, so tapping works, right?
Yeah.
And that you're tapping the endpoints of all the meridians. That's awesome. I love tapping. And this uses a little different method. So it's all the meridians attached to the governing meridian, which goes from the tailbone up your spine and over the top of your head to your upper lip. You'd be a pretzel if you tried to release that.
Yeah.
So we're not going to ask you to do that. No back pain.
No yoga class today.
I don't teach yoga. Uh, Magnetic fingertips can release it from your governing meridian. So just set your fingers there. You don't have to take off your headset. It's
Mhm.
energetic, so you can be just above your scalp. 3 sweeps. Beautiful. And now I will check and see, is that trapped emotion of overwhelm released? Yes.
Oh,
Woohoo! How you feeling?
wow. I started to feel like it really interesting because I got a little like, I want to say lightheaded, but I could definitely feel because I'm sensitive to energy. I could
Right.
definitely feel that there was a shift. I can feel the shift in the energy. And as
Mhm.
I was thinking about it, I had a very specific person I was actually thinking about that I've been in contact with recently.
Mm,
And
okay.
it's just a little bit more frequent than I had anticipated. And
Okay.
so I'm teetering on whether or not to, almost like you're people pleasing, do you actually voice that it's too much because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you know it's too much for me, too much communication.
Mhm.
And so I've been going back and forth on it, but when you started to talk about it, this is somebody that I've known for a very long time, excuse me. And when I go back to 9, because I did just move, is that I think we moved when I was like 9, 10.
Ah, and so we can ask, was this about that move? Yes, you hit it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Which, the move is for a bigger vision that's happening.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so it's kind of like a temporary move, but it's still very significant when your stuff's in storage. And so,
Just saying.
yeah.
Permission to be overwhelmed and to release it. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, now I'm going to pass your energy back to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think it's important for
Yes.
people to remember too, the asking, the permission, I like
Mhm.
to actually voice it out loud, myself, and then the closing of it, pulling it right back to you, pretty
Yes.
important with anybody who is doing any
Yes.
type of energy work.
Even if you're going to get a massage,
Hmm.
you kind of bubble first and just say, none of their stuff passes to me and none of my stuff needs to pass to them. This is just, I'm here appreciating this experience. And as you walk out, your energy back to you, mine back to me.
Yeah. I actually energetically pull it back up, like
Mhm.
physically. I do that. I do some
Ah,
physical thing. And then I actually just do some of that old fashioned cord cutting sometimes,
okay.
depending on, you know, and then it just let it go, like, yep, I'm not taking on that. I have my little bubble that I
Mhm.
do too.
Yep.
I actually see myself in the little bubble when I put it in.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and
I
you brought up a really important point too, because when you go to, for me, when I'm a huge massage therapist person, I love massages, but I've
Mhm,
learned over the years that I have to be really careful. I
mhm.
need somebody who actually understands energy, not
Ah,
just that they're a really good massage therapist,
beautiful.
so that they can help clear out what's no longer there, and that I have to give them
Mm,
permission to do that.
yes. Oh, those are great points.
Part of the selection process. So I absolutely love that. It's this emotional coach's pretty powerful with just being able to do it quickly. And I'm sure who's listening or watching on YouTube is going to go, hey, I want to try that. Right.
Right?
Like I have some big thing going on. Even
And
good things, right? Even
mhm,
good things can
mhm.
cause,
Can I give one example?
please.
I cleared something for my granddaughter the other day. It was Overjoy. It's the only thing on the thing that you'd go, that's a bad thing. And it's like, in fact, let me read the definition because it's just like, that is amazing. Column B, row one, fourth word. Intense delight or elation, which is too overpowering for the body. Joy that is a shock to the system. So her little 6-year-old system just kind of like
Ah,
became overwhelmed by something, and we could release it just the same way. And so that's one that was very surprising to me, that
yeah.
there really can be a little too much of a good thing, and and it's important to release. And let me also say, um, here's what's true of emotions is their energy in motion, emotion. Okay.
Mhm.
And when it comes, like some someone who's sensitive like you can probably feel you walk into kind of a sad situation. Someone's got a sick pet or something, and you can just about feel the heaviness when you walk in the room. You probably can feel it.
I could definitely feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so what what you need to know is that an emotion generally lasts 1 to 2 minutes. And if you can let it move on through, you might have to leave the room, or something, but let it move on through you and then it doesn't get trapped. So that's like a super key point to keep from trapping things in the future. It's great
Mhm.
to release things from the past. Awesome, awesome. And let's not keep trapping things.
Right. Right. I know sometimes I'll be talking to somebody uh, the emotions start to come up. And if they know me well, or maybe they don't know me all that well, sometimes they want to fix it. Oh,
Mhm.
what's wrong? And you're like, oh no, it's just happening, right? Which is primarily like usually the tearing, or my eyes are getting
Yes.
watery, or maybe just a tear, or I'm
Yeah.
just like taking a deep breath, and I'm just like, no, I'm just feeling it. Like it's
Yeah.
okay, it's healthy. I don't want it to get trapped. I
Exactly.
don't want this to become something bigger. Yeah, that
Mhm.
the experience that I was sharing with this said person, somebody, it's like, no, they hurt my feelings. Like they did something that wasn't I felt wasn't quite right. And so, but I'm going to feel it. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm not going to hold on to that experience. I'm not going to let it define me. I'm going to move on, and I don't want it to be trapped. So that is a really great
Mhm.
benefit. I know you had also mentioned too that with the motion codes that we can use them with animals, and I
Yes.
would love to hear more about that because I'm a huge dog lover. I had, when I started the podcast, I had two dogs, and unfortunately, on July 1st, I had to let go of my senior boy. And
Oh.
so we had a lot of healing sessions with us. I did a lot of work on him to help,
Mm.
before he passed. And so I would love to hear more
Yeah.
about with all the animal lovers who I know are out there just as I am.
Yes. This was one of my favorite little stories. I met a woman in a like happenstance. Only we know that all these things come together perfectly, right?
Mhm.
I had no intention of meeting someone new that day. I thought it was a group of people I was all acquainted with. She's sitting on the couch and brings up something about her pets. And I said, "Oh, how many pets do you have?" And she says, "Well, now I have three. I had two. I decided to adopt another one. I had this perfectly happy dog and cat family. And now this other cat has come in and it's upset the whole apple cart. I have to keep each one in a separate bedroom now. I have to feed them all separately. It's just completely tearing my life apart. I just trying to manage all these emotions." I said, "Oh, well, I'm getting my emotion code certification. Would you be open to me doing a little session for each of your pets?" So I think we spent 20 minutes on the phone for all three of them combined. And she went into the first bedroom. Okay, she introduced me to the pet on the phone. It wasn't even video. So so awesome. In the quantum field, there's no time or space, it's just
Yeah.
like, here we are. And so I tuned into that radio station for that little kitty and found 6 or 7 trapped emotions. And then for an animal, you just pet down the spine 10 times, just pet him head to tail. And so then I got, are there any more? Nope. Okay, we're done with that one. Close the door, go into the next room. And so this is the dog. And we found 7 to 10 trapped emotions. And again, head to tail. Are there any more? Nope. Okay, we're good with this one. Come out, shut the door, went into the third one. Here's the other cat. This is the one that I've had for longer. She's a little put out about the new one, and found some trapped emotions there. Again, less than 10. And then sweep, sweep, sweep on each one. And any more? Nope. Okay, we're done. And so I said, I'll check in a day or two and see how things are going. And she said, well, now nobody has to be relegated to a bedroom. They're all getting along and everybody's eating at their own dish, just happy. And I was just like,
Oh, hallelujah. There's nothing like pet drama. No, 'cause
exactly. It's
oh my
so
gosh.
24/7. So.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to reach out after we're done because I talk about Lily all the time, right? And she lost her best friend of her whole life
Yes.
of 8 years. And then she went through this morning and now we've moved and she's now met two other dogs, right? A
Okay.
puppy and then another dog who's about a year younger than her, a male.
Okay.
And the dynamics of
Ah,
introducing a dog who doesn't always like other dogs. I mean, she's not hurtful to other dogs. She's just more on
right.
guard, not relaxed. And
Yeah.
so it's been this whole integration
Mm,
process for us, right? And
yes.
and so it's been interesting that you right, that exact example, of course, no coincidence. So
No. Oh, I'm
oh,
excited.
oh my
Let's
gosh.
get some relief for her.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is so I just love it. I love the whole conversation that we've had about what emotional coach is, how it really integrates with massage therapy. I mean, this real life example of what you just cleared out for me with,
Mm,
with my move and really discovery of our own worth, with the coal for everybody to remember that they are a gold coin and
yes.
that you've given everybody permission.
Mm,
So powerful, right? Just the permission.
beautiful.
I mean, what a beautiful journey. I'm so glad that you're here. Now, if somebody wants to reach out, Vienna, how can they reach you?
Well, my website is La Vie, like in French, the life, La Vie Balance, life balance, .com. And there you'll be able to find a little scheduling link. And when I have spots available in the schedule, I do little 20-minute introductory calls, just kind of hear what your story is, share a bit of my story and see if we're a good fit to work together. And then can also, I think we'll be able to actually schedule appointments through that link as well. I'll have some times opened up by then. And download the book, stopthepainbook.com. And that'll put you on the mailing list unless you can opt out later, but that'll put you on the list. And then you'll get occasional emails from me where we
Oh,
can connect that way too.
I love that. And are you on social media too? If they want to reach out and start following you, and how
Yeah.
how could they find you on social media?
Okay, Vienna Dunham. There is a page for La Vie Balance, but I haven't been active on that recently. So
Mhm.
Vienna Dunham, VIENNA DUNHAM.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I hope everybody will connect, go to the website, learn more about, what began this conversation of the Rib Whisperer and how powerful all of this integrates with our own healing. And really, if you find yourself being this people pleaser, wow, what a powerful way to be able to own your own empowerment and shine your own light. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been such a
My
blessing.
pleasure.
Thank
All the
you.
best in 2022.
Yes.